Hi, I'm Lorrin Cash of Read Up Chicago magazine. I'm here today with the lovely T. Michelle. Can you please tell our audience a little bit more about who you are and what you do?
Okay, thank you, Lauren, for having me. So I am T. Michelle, or Tanisha Wells. I'm owner of T. Michelle Couture, which is a fashion line. I am also co-founder of Girl Boss, which is a prom and scholarship giveaway. And then I'm also one of the designers of Building Bridges, which is a community organization that basically sets up sessions for the youth to come out, get them out of the streets, and have something to do on the weekends.
Okay, so tell me a little bit more about the Girl Boss. What exactly is that about? What are you guys doing over there?
Okay, so me and my friend Cindy Johnson, we came together to bring light to other entrepreneurs. So I'm a full-time entrepreneur, she's a part-time entrepreneur, and together we work with other entrepreneurs in the company in order to send a girl off to prom. And it's the full set. So
you guys are busy right now, right?
Yes, this prom. So on top of my other orders, we're giving this girl who was in need, and also she shows leadership within her school and her community, and she aspires to be an entrepreneur in the future. Wow. So not only are we giving back to her, but we also want to highlight other entrepreneurs. So we have someone who's doing her hair, her nails, and all of these services are donated to us. So basically her prom is June 2nd, and she's kind of surprised because she thinks she's just getting a free dress, but when she comes, it's going to be the entire set. So her prom, her decorations, everything has been donated to her. And then on top of that, we're also giving her a monetary amount to put towards her college, her first year of college.
Awesome. So how exactly are you guys coming up with the funds and tools and things that you need to be able to give these girls what it is that they need to have an awesome prom and have a nice little push for college? So
the great thing about Girl Boss is not only am I able to use my services, but I have other entrepreneurs who are willing to dedicate their time and their own funds. So I'm a fashion designer, I can make her dress. I did take on the cost of the fabric, but I look at this as something that I'm doing to help the community. So the other designers or the other entrepreneurs who's doing the hair, they're donating the hair, and those expenses come directly out of their own profit. So they're just basically, they heard her story, they thought that this was a great opportunity. So we reached out to some people that we knew, like friends, to do their nails, and basically they're using their own funds to give back.
And they're kind of like networking as well in the process and advertising. So just to kind of come back a little bit, how did you get started in the fashion industry anyway?
Okay, so I learned how to hand sew when I was in 6th grade. And that was just basically like sewing on buttons and doing little things. And I used to sketch. The name of my clothing line was called Dream Stone, which I actually stole. I'm not even gonna lie. It was my classmate, her name was Ashley, and she used to draw these cute little jeans, and it was called Dream Stone. And I had my own fashion line, but I didn't have a name for it. So I'm like, I would call mine Dream Stone too, or whatever. And she was like, Tanisha, both of our clothing line is named Dream Stone. I'm like, isn't that ironic?
Right.
So all throughout grammar school, I used to just sketch and say I wanted to be a fashion designer. I don't know if it's just getting into high school, getting into boys, and all these other activities. I kind of forgot about it. When it was time for me to go to college, I was finding out what major I wanted to be. I told my mom, I'm like, I want to be a fashion designer. I'm going to go to school for fashion design. And she was like, girl, you're going to go to school and you ain't going to have no job when you get out. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll go for TV production. So I go to college and I get out, I do a lot of television when I'm done, but I feel like, Proverbs 18:6 says that your gift will make room. And that basically, I feel like no matter what you're destined to do, it'll eventually find you again.
It will.
So I was working for Southwest Airlines. I had a real job, and this was my first office Christmas party. Out of nowhere, like never making nothing. I'm like, I'm gonna make a dress to wear to this Christmas party. And I went to Walmart, I got me some fabric, ordered me a $14 sewing machine off Amazon, and I made this dress. And when I tell you the dress looks like I have been sewing my entire life, I'm like, how did I just do this on this $14 sewing machine? So I posted the picture on Facebook, and then people were asking, well, can you make me some gear? I'm like, I'm a fashion designer now. And that's basically, that happened in 2012, December 2012, and since then I've been sewing.
So basically you did go to school, but what you went to school for is not what you're doing. So do you think that in order to further your career that you do need to go back to complete some courses or anything? Do you think that's relevant at this time?
Honestly, for what I want to do now, no, I don't. I think college is a great experience. I do think that even if you don't want to do something that's actually technical, like be a lawyer or something like that, that you should get that foundation, that experience of college, but I don't think it's necessary for every profession. I went to school for my Bachelor of Sciences in television production. Mass Communications television production, and my minor is in theater. So getting out of school, I feel like the things that I learned, it just kind of helped nurture me, but the experience of everything I know how to do within television production, I learned on the job. And then it's basically with internships. I honestly didn't know that you could have an internship as a freshman coming out going into college or as a high school student, because I'm a first generation college student. So I'm the only person in my not the only, the first, because my cousins have done it now, but the first person in my family to go from high school to college to graduate. So I honestly didn't have that guidance of someone telling me what to expect and what to do. So when I'm in my internships, when I'm a senior graduating, I have high school students doing the same things I'm doing, and they're basically having the same experiences I'm having, but early on, and making those connections. I think that the atmosphere of being in college, it did teach me a lot, because I went to Illinois State. It's only 2 hours away from Chicago, but being away from home did grow me up a little bit. It got me out of the atmosphere of just being in Chicago. So I do think that college is important on that level, but I don't necessarily think that it's important with everything you want to do, because honestly, I self-taught myself. I taught myself how to sew from YouTube. So I had a little experience with hand sewing, but other than that, it's videos. It's so much knowledge now. It's on the internet that you can kind of teach yourself.
Google anything.
Exactly.
YouTube, anything.
Yes. So, and that's when the first dress that I made, I went on YouTube, and the girl who taught me, her name was it was called Misha TV, and she has passed now, so rest in peace to her. But a lot of the things that she did is basically showing you how to sew using your own clothes. So that was, I don't think I needed to go to school now. And then, it kind of is that stigma in the Black community. I do feel like you feel more uplifted. I got a master's now, so I did think about going back to get my master's, but honestly, it's just another required debt that I'm not going to use. Like, for real.
So, just like you were that got out of high school, went to college, and you saw that during your internship that you wish it was some information had been given to you. If you were to put together a guideline to give to a younger you, what tips or advice would you give to them so that they don't, make the same mistakes? And not even a mistake, but just be held back when they could have been moving forward.
Exactly, and I'm glad that you say that, because that's something that I actually want to do in the future. One of the things that I think helped me go to college is me and my sister are really close in age, and I went to Kenwood Academy. I felt like there was no other option for me after I got out of high school but to go to college, where she went to CBS and it wasn't the same line for her. In my senior year of high school, we had programs where you had to apply, or classes where you had to apply for colleges, you had to be accepted, or basically you had to apply to so many different colleges, and that was like a part of our coursework in my senior year of high school, whereas other schools don't have that. But on top of that, they sent us to college, but if your family didn't come from that background, then you didn't have that knowledge. So some of the things, like my daughters are growing up, some of the things I want to teach them is about financial literacy. Like, I wish my mother would have told me, don't get these credit cards they send you with these $2,000 limits and you work in the school cafeteria, because you acquire that debt. And a lot of that's going on with my credit score now is because of things that I acquired in college. So that's one of the things that I definitely want to teach my children is financial literacy. Another thing is to intern, to network, and how to network. I'm really talkative, so I talk to anybody I meet. If I see you, I'm kind of nosy too, so if I hear you talking about something I'm interested in, I'm like, hey, what you
talking about?
And people like to talk about themselves, so unless you ain't stepping on nobody's toes, they will give you information, and a lot of people are willing to give you information. So I think that's really important, to get out here, to reach out to, and also research, to reach out to organizations that you want to be a part of. When I interned for NBC, the way I got that is from going on Facebook. I basically stalked. I Googled NBC, found this guy's LinkedIn, found his something on Craigslist, because he wanted somebody to be on the show, and that's how I ended up getting that internship, is because I kind of stalked him and did research and finding out who he was, and his name was Chris. I found his email on Craigslist, and that led me to his Facebook, led me to his LinkedIn, and I emailed him and told him I wanted an internship. So
you deserve that. You did the footwork, you did all the research, you didn't just instant message him.
Exactly.
You went over and beyond to reach him. So
exactly.
That was, he was probably like, oh, let me give this girl an internship.
Yeah.
So what exactly is your definition of fashion? Like, does it necessarily define the person? How do you see fashion?
Okay, so T. Michelle, like, I have a little catchphrase, which is bold, empowering, and fabulous. And that's what I really want my brand to represent. I feel like your clothes speak for you before, you even introduce yourself. And it's not to the extent where you have to be in the most name brand clothes, or you have to wear this name, or you have to, I feel like it's an opportunity for you to put your best foot forward. So with my brand, I specialize in custom made women's clothing, and it's also because I want to be able to provide clothing to women of all shapes and sizes to make you feel beautiful in anything that you wear. When I say bold, everybody doesn't like flashy prints, and everybody doesn't like, so it's bold, and what's bold to you? Like, I want you to basically put yourself out there, to take a chance. And then empowering, like, a lot of my clients are plus size like myself, and I want you to feel empowered in what you're wearing. And that's not only in your clothing, but in your professional life, in your world. So that's another thing. And with me doing girl organizations like Girl Boss and Building Bridges, it's not only empowering women, but other young girls and girls, like children that are going to grow up to be grown with me. And then fabulous, I just like to be fabulous. Like, I think that when you feel pretty, then you carry yourself a different way, you talk a different way, and it shows in everything that you do.
So how do you stay up to date on the trends, what's going on in high fashion? Like, how do you stay up to date on that?
And to be honest, I'm not even going to say that I'm just the most on top. I know all the designers. I do think that that's something that I need to get on top of, like knowing who the big designers are. But I think it's like a give and take with that. The pros of not being so stuck on what everybody else is doing, I think that helps my creativity a little bit, because then it's coming fresh for me, and I'm not trying to stay on top of trends.
Right.
And then the cons is like, you kind of want to stay relevant. You do want to make sure that you're noticing what people are liking, so that it helps you sell more. But works for me, since I do custom designs. Some of my clients come and they have a vision and they hear what they want to look, and it's my job to bring that to life. So you may come and you may think, well, you go to the store, you found something that wasn't really what I was looking for. You can come to me, and the great thing about that, I can help you bring that vision to life. So I think when it comes to fashion, social media is our biggest friend. That helps you stay on top of everything. I love Pinterest. That's what I've been doing lately. I don't know how to get all this stuff on YouTube.
I could all day.
So social media is your biggest friend right now with staying on top of stuff.
So with Girl Boss, who's all involved, and how exactly do you guys work together? I know because everybody's not just, you said somebody's doing part-time entrepreneurship. So how do you guys do that successfully with life, kids, work? How do you guys manage that?
Okay, let me lay that out. So I'm a full-time entrepreneur as of December of last year. And I'm also a twin mother. So my twins are 3 years old, and they have me turning gray, and I'm not even 30 yet. So it's basically dedication. So with myself, I know it takes a lot of, so I try to get a lot done when they're in school, and then when they come home, I try to give them their time. But some nights I don't sleep at all. Last week, I started sewing at about 10 o'clock at night, and then next thing I know, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and take them to school and keep on with my day. So I really do feel like it's dedication, and that's not always the best way. I do know I need sleep and everything. But some of the other people are part-time entrepreneurs, and they're so basically, for nails, we have Pierre Dawson, and she works at a salon downtown. Summer Johnson of Some Creative. We have a guy named Patrick, and he's a professional caterer. There's a girl named Shannon. She's of Destiny Treats, and she's donating the sweets table. We have Jennifer Gibson, who is doing our t-shirts and doing some printing for us. And then I excuse me because I don't know all the other vendors' names, but we have someone doing hair, and it's basically them just taking time out of their day, and they really saw that this was going to be a good experience to give back to this young lady, and just taking that time out of their own schedules and that money out of their own pockets to give back to her.
So I mean, you sound like you're doing it, but how do you stay motivated? Like, who is your support system right now?
Oh my God, my family. Like, when they say it takes a village to raise a child, it takes a village to build up a woman. Like, I saw a meme yesterday. Behind every successful black woman is a group of other black women behind her lifting her up. My friends, my family are so supportive of everything I do. When it's even buying things for me and wanting to pay full price and not take discounts on things that I do. And then also what really motivates me is when I post something on Facebook, it's people telling me how they feel about what I've been doing. Like, cause I feel like I be struggling all the time, but on the outside looking in, it does look like it's a from the outside looking in, I know it does look like it's, oh, you have it all figured out. I think the people uplifting me and supporting me and hearing encouraging words. Last week I posted something about me opening my new office, and this girl decided to start her business the next day. You know, she's like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and start. And I'm like, that really motivates me to keep going because I don't want to disappoint them. You know, and then also children, I feel like that can be your biggest motivator. Since I'm becoming a mother, I see myself and I'm like, I want to leave them a legacy. I want them to be proud of their mother. So I think that's what really keeps me pushing. And then the fact that everything just happens in divine order and it just kind of works itself out. When it comes to even me getting my office space, I was supposed to go in with someone else, and it didn't work out. And the lady worked with me in order to still allow me to go through this process. And I'm like, okay, how can I say no? You know, even when I feel like I want to stop or it's becoming too much, something will happen like, here's another bone. Go ahead and keep going. You know, so I feel like things like that keep me going.
So when you are working in the community with the youth, what is the best part of that for you?
Oh my God, so building bridges, that was like my first experience with working with children. So my job was to teach them basic fashion design. So I taught them how to measure, about contracts, how you need a contract, and like basically the design process to see these girls' faces and teach them how to sketch and just them telling me their stories of what they want their clothing lines to be called when they grow up. This one girl, I will never forget that she told me, Tanisha, I like your clothes. She was like, when I see you gonna keep making these clothes and you gonna make it for somebody big like Jennifer Hudson, and then she gonna put it on TV and then you gonna come back and I'm like, girl, this is my future. I'm like,
you just prophesied.
I know. So just even encouraging words, because you know children, they'll tell you the honest truth.
They will.
Like, and I had somebody say, I don't like that. That ain't that cute. And I'm like, oh, okay, let me go see what I can do about it. You know. You 6, but okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go back to the drawing board. But just to see them being inspired by what I'm doing and to see them looking up to me, that's what keeps me working with the youth. I feel like initially it wasn't really my goal to work with the community. Like, I've always wanted to give donations here and there. I never thought that I would be working with children. When Nicole Bridges approached me about doing building bridges, I'm like, I think it was only, she's like, it's only an hour out of your Saturday. And at first I seemed like, every Saturday. But then I'm like, okay, it's only 1 hour. You can come, and then after that, I can tell you, I'm always late for stuff. And I'm trying to work on my timeliness. But every Saturday I was on time for these little girls because I knew they were so happy to do this. So that really kept me going, and that's something that I want to continue to do. So
with T. Michelle Couture, are you online or you have a storefront now?
Yeah, so right now I'm online, so a lot of my clients, but I do have an office space, and this basically where I can come see clients. We can have consults. If you want to come with me, if you come see me and to see some of the pieces that I have now, you can come down there. And that's located in the Roosevelt Collection, so kind of where Icon Theater is. But I'm also located online at tmichellcouture.com, and then on Facebook and Instagram with the same name, T. Michelle Couture.
So how are you marketing yourself right now?
My best marketing is basically social media as well. And also I feel like my boyfriend, he has his own t-shirt line, which is called Vlog. And We All We Got, which is basically a community. I know, which is a community, basically I give it back to the community as well. But what he says is you are your brand. And that's so important to me, because I notice when I put something on that I made and then post it on my social media account, then that's when I get a lot of people coming to me like, oh, Tisha, you made this, can I wear that? So I think wearing my own clothing, I made this jacket.
I was looking at the you must have made that. That's cute.
And I made this right before I came here, so
wow.
So that gets me a lot of business. And then word of mouth. And when I think my clients are so loyal, I started sewing in 2012, and then my first dress was like January of 2013. And I'm not even going to lie and say it was the best dress I had ever made, because this is probably only the second. But the girl has come to me every birthday since then, and that helped me grow not only my business but also my talent, you know, and develop. So a lot of my clients come from word of mouth, and people who had a great experience with me. For all of my years of working since I was about 15, working at McDonald's up until just recently working for a bank, it's been in customer service. So I feel like all of those talents or all of those skills I've translated into my own business. So not only do I want to design something for you, but I know how to cater to my customers as well and make the experience make the experience great for you. Like I know how to you're not a happy customer, how can I make this a better experience for you? And I think that matters a lot.
So exactly how do you deal with those arrogant clients?
Okay.
or those clients that's so timid and they don't want to step out of the box? How do you go about persuading them?
Okay. And like I said to Michelle, I wanted to be bold, empowering, and fabulous. And I really stand on that empowering part. Like I want you to feel beautiful when you leave. I want you to feel like you're going to the Oscars and something that I made you. One of my prom clients this year, her mother contacted me in order to make her prom dress, and she told me she didn't want to go to prom because she was too fat. And I'm like, girl, so that really broke my heart. I'm like, you are not fat, first of all, and I'm going to have you looking so fabulous. So the first thing was for me to pump her up in her self-confidence. So to highlight her curves, like, to tell her how to wear her clothing so it looks best on her body. Her prom dress, the first thing I sketched it out, she kind of told me her vision, and I started sketching it, and I just see her smiling like, okay, yeah, I'm kind of getting excited now. When I tell you her prom dress, I posted this in my sewing group. She has the most comments and compliments about how beautiful and happy she looks in the picture than any other girl that I did a prom dress for, big or small. So that's another thing. Like if someone's a little shy and they're not feeling confident, my job is to build up your confidence so that you feel good in what you're about to put out. I don't want to just put you on anything because you requested that. If you're a larger client and you want something that I feel like you may need a bra for, then I will, okay, let's do it this way so we can change it up for you. Or if I don't feel like it's going to be flattering on you if you're small, then I would, kind of give those tips.
So what kind of tips would you give lately with some of the fashion mistakes that people are obviously making? What are you seeing mostly online that you're like, if I see that one more time?
I know, and I feel like everything, because of social media and a lot of boutiques that are open and carrying the same clothing, we all are wearing the same thing. And that's my goal, to kind of step out the box and do something a little bit different. I'm tired of seeing basically the completely naked dresses where it's like a patch of sequin right here and then on the areolas, and then that's your dress.
I have been seeing that.
And I'm like, it's cute when it's done right. Like one of the dresses I just did for one of my loyal clients, it was completely mesh, but she had everything completely covered, and it doesn't look just like a naked dress. It looks like the sequins that was on the dress had a design pattern on it that made it look really good. So when someone comes to me and their idea is to basically look like everybody else, I tell them, well, everybody's doing this. Let's see what we can do to make yours different. Let's put a twist on this so it looks different. And then you don't just look naked, and you don't look like you in the Garden of Eve just covering up your secret parts. So
okay. So when you're out shopping, what do you tend to find yourself of course you're wearing your own stuff, but where are you spending most of your coins? Are you in H&M? Are you in Forever 21? Are you in Coach, Guess? Where you at?
So I'm not even gonna lie, like now I don't even really buy things like pant bottoms. I buy a lot of bottoms, but when it comes to anything else, like I can make that. I'm not gonna spend. I'm frugal. I'm very frugal. I ain't gonna say cheap. I'm gonna say I'm smart with my money. So when I go to any store, I go straight to the clearance rack. And if it's something that is not, I can alter that. I can fix that up. You know. So I do like H&M. I feel like they have a wide range of clothes that fit like a few different styles. They have this little collection like a little Rihanna-esque. They have something that has their casual clothing, and then their price points are really good for me. So I really like H&M. And that's about the only store that I've shopped at.
I hate their plus size section.
Look, and that's what I'm like. I gotta get like a lot. Like this T-shirt, this tank is from H&M. I'm like, I can do that because that's a basic tank. I got a sweater from there that was kind of nice. Forever 21 does have a really nice plus size section. You ain't feeling them either.
So When you're when you're viewing other designers, what do you think is the big thing that's keeping other designers from succeeding and reaching that goal that they're trying to reach?
I feel like a lot of it is one, trying to be repetitive and trying to do everything that everybody is doing. And I kind of fell into that with me beginning. So I feel like you really have to find your niche and what your specialty is. And now I'm learning that my specialty is doing custom design. And it's because a lot of people they have ideas that they want to bring to life. Another thing is, I feel like trying to be overly competitive where you're only doing something, I feel like it's a lot of work out of here, a lot of money out of here for everybody. Networking with other designers and sending clients here. If you don't think that this is your specialty, my best friend, she also sells her clothing line is called Nine Designs. So it's Pierre, that's the same one who does nails. I don't specialize in clothes, so if I have a guy that's coming to me asking me to do clothes, I'll send them to her. If she has someone who wants to get out or something, she'll send it to me. So willing to build those connections and not be scared to lose money. And I would rather you do this guy before I have him looking like he got on the board.
And then your name.
Exactly. So just trying to as you said before, trying to stay on trend too much and doing exactly the same thing. And because a lot of the stuff you can find on AliExpress, nobody wants to come to you, even though you can hand make it if you're doing exactly the same thing.
So this theme is claim it, own it, become it. I just wanted to get your opinion on what that means to you and how you've been able to see that come to life in your life.
Okay. So now with me being a full-time entrepreneur, it's hard. Like, it took me a while to be comfortable to tell somebody I'm a fashion designer. And after I made my first dress and people asking me, my friend actually asked me, she's like, "Are you ready to make people stuff?" I'm like, "Yeah, like I can make clothes. I'm a fashion designer now." But like actually saying and standing in that, and that's what I do, and this is who I am. Basically, it took a minute for me, and then and this is the double entendre, because it was basically, I said I don't feel like school is important, but in the beginning of me learning how to sew, I didn't feel as confident as what I thought others designed, because I didn't go to school for this, and I felt like that would validate me. Although I can sew and I can look at something and completely make it like that, I didn't feel as confident as someone who went to school and went to Columbia and learned how to sew, even though I'm making the same level of work as they are. So now with the claiming, I'm a fashion designer, and that's what I do as my career full time, and that's how I make my money. So claiming that, and then what's the second part of that? Own it, become it. And then now, when I felt by me claiming that's what I wanted to do, then the universe started working for me in order to become that. When I tell you, within the last few months, getting an office, and now I'm going to have a fashion show in August, and I'm looking to do my lookbook, and you start bringing those things to yourself when you step in that, and then own it. Like, I'm a fashion designer and I am doing this, and T. Michelle Couture is rocking. So that's where I am, and that's what that means to me. When you actually say that and stand on who you are, I feel like everything will come together, full circle.
Okay, so you have a lot of custom made pieces in your boutique. What about accessories and shoes and things like that? Are you also into that as well? So right now, with what I do, I basically consult. I act as a stylist with my clients. Okay. So they'll send me out in the design process when I'm sketching their dress, or even at the end when they're coming to their final fit, and I'm like, okay, well, I think you should wear these kind of shoes, or we'll like exchange pictures. I think your hair should be like this, especially with my prom girls. And then I'm doing a wedding actually now, so she called me on the page. I don't know how I should wear my hair. I want the best. So I sent her, she's like, oh my God, thank you. So things like that, like I consult with them also on that level, to help them get through the entire look or whatever their event is as well. So I don't actually offer accessories. I do want that to be something that I'm doing in the future, and not necessarily my own, but there are a few other vendors that I know. Rock Girls is one. There are a few other vendors that I know that offer really great products that I would like send my clients to as well. So with the website, did you design it yourself, or what tools are you using for that? Yes, so I did design my website, and I used so this is my third website actually. So the first one I used Weebly.com to design my website, and then just my domain. The second one I used Wix, which was a little better format than Weebly, and then now I'm using eHost.
But I do want actually graphic designers to I just updated my logo, so I kind of wanted to have a sleeker feel, and I do, like, I feel like you're your worst critic, so I look at it like, I created this myself, you know, I want somebody to give it that, you know, so, but in the beginning stages of your career, I think that's smart. Like, I have this website that people can go, they can find out about my business, but I'm not spending a boatload of money and emptying all my pockets in order to get that started. This is just the beginning. So now I am looking to upgrade it.
So what else have you invested in that was essential to your up and coming of you stepping out and doing just full-time entrepreneurship? Even
so, like, my office space is the most, would be the most expensive thing that I've invested in. Number one, the location. It's in the Roosevelt Collection, so there are all these other retailers. I feel like that kind of lifts me up. Before this, I was in my basement, you know, of my home. And even though it's set up like an office space, it's in the basement of my home. You come, I'm doing laundry, that's over there, the machine is rocking, I'm trying to get you fitted. You know, that really stopped working for me. And then also, now it's basically, what was I saying? I'm sorry. So my office space is the biggest investment that I feel like I made because of the location of it. And then I also feel like it's a better experience for my clients to come step outside of my home. And then as my business grows, it gets I live really far out, so the location works really well. And then as you start to grow your business, I kind of got uncomfortable with people who I didn't know coming to my home with me and my family rest. So I think that was a big thing. Investing in sewing machines. Some of these sewing machines can run up to $500 to $1,000, but I feel like that's something that you have to invest in order to build your brand up. And like I told you, I'm very frugal, so I look on OfferUp, who's selling their stuff, and you know, all these other websites, tags. I feel like investing in my new logo, I think that kind of builds you up. So I think those are kind of some of the stuff, even fabric, like trying out different fabrics. Like when I first started, a lot of the fabrics that I was going was like only from Joanne Fabrics, and that's the only place I would shop. But like as you start to get bigger, I think extending yourself to online stores. I'm supposed to be taking a trip to New York in July to hit up just a fabric shopping tour.
Wow.
So I think things like that help you, and people notice that in your business. When you start investing in yourself and spending that money in yourself, then they notice that. Now people, instead of coming to my basement, they come to my office located downtown, and it looks official, and then that makes them comfortable with wanting to being able to pay more, you know, for something that I'm designing. So.
So do you have like an assistant or anybody? Are you looking for an assistant?
Look, I actually have an assistant. Let me tell you, she is the loveliest person. Her name is Ashley Cunningham. So Ashley and I used to work at Beagle Harris Bank together. Okay. And this is the first person who is allowed me to make her wedding dress or whatever. And I've been asked before, but I never wanted to do it. I'm like, that's so much pressure. I'm not going to argue with nobody about the wedding dress. And what if something happened? I'm like, no, I can do it. She came to me like, Tanisha, I want you to design my wedding dress. And I'm kind of like, okay, yeah, blew it off. And then she called me like, Tanisha, you're making my wedding dress. So we need to meet. And I'm like, okay. And then I think it was an appointment that I had, and I was late for the appointment. She's like, Tanisha, do you need help with making your scheduling your appointments and contacting people and sending emails? I'm like, yeah, I do, girl. And she was like, because I can be your assistant. And I'm like, what? She was like, and just for somebody to offer that service to me and to say, I'm willing to, she's like, I believe in your business so much that, and this is the first person who ever told me she did not want a discount on anything that I made for her. I'm like, okay, and when you work with friends and family, I'm immediately like, okay, I'm gonna charge you a lot, And for her to tell me, I don't want a discount, I want you to charge me the full price of what you would charge because I want to sow into your business. And I'm like, girl. And then she offered to be my assistant, and we've been working together since October of last year. And she handles my email. She is a godsend. So in the midst of planning for her wedding, she's answering my emails, posting to my social media, and that allows me to focus on just sewing and not to have to stop and make this post or reply to this client immediately. And she allowed me to pay her in clothes. So I'm like, every month you get a stipend, I'm making you something, you know. So, and that's great because in the beginning of your business, you don't want to just be shelling out a lot of your revenue. Because that can cause you not to be making a profit at all. So for her to let me make her clothes just for her to help work with me, it's been great as well.
What kind of apps have come in handy for you as far as keeping up with your income and revenue and things like that? What has been working for
So
you?
PayPal, I love PayPal as my merchant. Not only with processing cards, being active on my website, people sending out invoices. It's just so functional. Excuse me. I love PayPal. Another one is called Set More, which is appointment setting. So people could actually book their appointments through me by using Set More. Then both Ashley and I can log in. They can pay for services that way. So those two, and then Google Docs as well for us to share for us to share
Those
information.
apps free apps or?
Yes, all of those are free apps.
Okay, cool. So can you name who is like your number one designer that you can count on? That if somebody's wearing them, you know that that's them, and they gonna look good in that.
So this girl, she's actually another independent designer. I think she was at Edwardsville. Her name is Joni Marie Ross. So when I was doing research about how to basically niche your brand, how to find out what you want your brand to look like, it said to grab somebody who you feel like is at the top of the totem pole and somebody who you think is at the bottom of the totem pole. So basically what you don't want your brand to look like and what you want your brand to look like. I love her work. I love the way that she makes her clothes, that she presents her brand. So that and I like that she's actually a designer who taught herself how to sew, who basically, not to say she's what I aspire to be. So she's another designer who I really like.
Okay. So what can we look forward to from you this summer, this fall? What are we expecting as far as patterns, trips?
So floral was all in. So I'm definitely planning a summer collection as well as a fall collection, which will be debuted at my fashion show in August. We have a big name host who's gonna be hosting that for us. And I'm not gonna reveal the name right now though. I'm doing a lookbook this summer. So I'm just really trying to grow. And then Girl Boss, I'm really trying to grow that as well. So not only do I want to do the prom and scholarship giveaway, I want to grow that as well into other sessions that I do with young girls about empowerment and how to lift themselves up. Doing some of the things that we talked about financial literacy. I want to basically encourage these girls not only to be entrepreneurs and build your business, to be about your money. So, and teach them self-confidence and things like that. So I really want to continue to grow that as well.
Okay, so we'll be looking forward to that possibly this summer, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So give me a little bit more info about how we can reach out or follow and see what you're doing with Girl Boss.
Okay. So my website is T. Michelle Couture. Girl Boss is girlbossfun@gmail.com. You can contact us there. And that's if you're a vendor, if you would like to donate your services for this prom season, which we'll be sending her off on June 2nd, or if you want to donate in the future. And not only is it just to give back, but it's also to highlight other entrepreneurs. I want to uplift your business. I want to get you market your business, also start help that as far as when it comes to networking. So, and then also if you would like to contact me about getting the dress made, whether it be for your prom, graduation, bridal shower, then you can contact me at tmichellcouture.com.
Are you looking for any vendors for this upcoming fashion show for August?
Yes, I will. I didn't even think about that. Yes. So for the fashion show, we're looking for a really nice location, and we have narrowed it down to a few spaces, but we will be having other vendors because I don't want the fashion show. This will be my first fashion show where I highlight my brand. This is the last fashion show I did. I entered it with a boutique, so I was just basically a co-designer in the show. So this will be my first time actually putting on my own show with all of my own clothes, along with my friends. Yes. Okay. So I am looking for other vendors to come in, especially like caterers and event planners.
Okay. Who tends to be your main source of customers? Like, are they entrepreneurs? Are they doctors? Like that? Like
they're friends. Like a lot of people I went to high school with who see, Tanisha, I didn't know you know how to make clothes, and they see me doing stuff for other people. And a lot of my clientele has been people that I know and other people that I know, which I feel like is so important because you hear from a lot of people that once you become an entrepreneur, you start your own business, that the people closest to you don't support you. And fortunately enough, I haven't had that issue. Everybody from the beginning of my career have been people that I've known personally who support me and who want to see me do well. So at the beginning stages, it's people who know me and know me through somebody or have seen me or Facebook friends, and that has really worked well for me.
So as we're wrapping up, is there any words of encouragement that you can give another entrepreneur or designer that's out there that's trying to hustle just like you are?
What I believe is people tell you to take a leap of faith, and they tell you to step on faith and just jump, and you're just supposed to dive into your career. And I think that is so difficult to do. Like, you basically have to build your self-confidence up and really believe in what you're doing, and that it is meant for you to do that. I think once I start believing in myself and once I start actually taking those bigger steps, investing in my own business, that's when everything really started working for me. If you don't do that, you're going to stay stagnant. You're not going to grow. And you have to make, basically, and also to reach out to people for help. People will help you if you ask. I just reached out to a stylist for a reality TV star because one of my goals is to have a piece of my clothing on TV this year. So I'm reaching out to people, and don't be scared to do so. All they're going to do is tell you no. So they can tell you yes, or they can tell you no. Look, nobody going to cuss you out. Hopefully they don't cuss you out. Don't get mad at me if they do cuss you out. So, but you really have to take those steps, believe in yourself. And even though it's scary, which I tell you, I was a mother, I'm working, I didn't want to quit my job in order to pursue fashion design. What if I don't have enough clients this month? What if I can't pay this, But once you start doing it and investing in your business, continue with what you're doing, then people will see that and they continue to come. So,
is there any particular person that's in the industry that you would love to work with?
Beyonce? Yes! I got one of the bodysuits already drafted up for the next concert after these twins come out. So I am so ready for her, yes. I also like Tamela Mann. The guy, I would love to design something for her, but Beyonce is like goals.
Okay. All right. So if Beyonce wanted to book you again, how can we reach you again?
Again, it is tmichellecouture.com, tmichellecouture@yahoo.com, or you can also catch me on Facebook and Instagram at tmichellecouture.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming out. I really had fun.
Thank you for
this
having
was
me.
Awesome. Young, black, educated woman about her business, about her money, her family. Thank you so much for your time. I really had fun with you. I would like for you guys to tune in and follow us on YouTube at Read Up Chicago. Also on social media at RUCMAG, RUCMAG. On Facebook, www.facebook.com/RUCMAG. Thank you.
Thank you.